So, you've probably heard of this relatively obscure franchise called the Tales of series. There are a lot of characters in this series. Like, a lot. So, I figured that I would take this chance to give a little brief summary of each character's character arc within each game, because they have those sometimes, and you can decide for yourself which ones are accurate or which ones piss you off. Man on Revenge Quest learns empathy and time management skills. Small town Hick gets over the tragic death of his little sister by never getting over the tragic death of his little sister. Quiet Nice Girl's mother dies and she gets a boyfriend. Half-Elf has her life ruined by racism, gets rejected by the guy she likes, and eventually outlives all of her loved ones. Local Alcoholic finds out you can literally revolutionize the magic of the world and still be a drunk douchebag. Young Ninja is finally able to make friends after sacrificing her childhood and losing her parents before even turning 10. Horny teenager realizes lusting after an older man isn't healthy. Child learns that he actually killed his entire civilization because his dad sucked, and so he should probably stop rushing into things. Child also learns that she killed her whole civilization because of parental abuse, and so she should probably communicate better. Small creature learns what love is. Bumpkin learns that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism and dates his boyfriend's sister. Young girl has a horrible life and all she gets is a himbo out of it. Amnesiac lesbian regains her memories and realizes she's bisexual. Teenage boy dies unable to choose between his age-inappropriate boyfriend or age-inappropriate girlfriend. Women in STEM learns to put chicks before dicks, but the chick is God. Racist caricature eats the rich and harasses a woman with no repercussions. Boring prince becomes a boring king. Child gets to live her fantasy of being the PA/bodyguard of an age-inappropriate man. Prince decides to actually take the plight of his kingdom seriously. Codependent sister lets her brother move out after way too long. Lazy guy learns that giving a shit about the world is actually pretty awesome because of beef jerky. Spunky tomboy realizes that shockingly, children make dumb mistakes as kids. Young research assistant goes on a journey to kill her own possessed mother and save the fucking world, but everyone is too racist to take her seriously. Reddit warrior learns what empathy is after going to space. Gifted child plays a board game and talks to her mom. Man failure learns how to not ruin his amazing marriage. Dirtbag realizes he might be working for the bad guys when he tries to kill a bunch of innocent children. Ew! Local child whines until he gets everything he wants, including bringing his dad and girlfriend back from the fucking dead. Alien is worn down until she agrees to be a random child's girlfriend. Teenage sex pest blames himself for the death of a grown man and then becomes irrelevant. Since Destiny DC is canon, this whole arc makes no sense. Young lady's brother dies because he hates collectivism and she feels like she has to overcompensate now. Cunty scientist solves every problem while dressed like the first queen kicked off of Drag Race until her brother dies.
Pancake time!
Himbo misunderstands everything around him so much he accidentally saves the world and his girlfriend's life. Young girl doesn't kill herself because her boyfriend is cute. Gay half-elf resists the urge to become a race supremacist despite everyone around him giving him so many reasons to. Absentee father is a tsundere for his own fucking son. Woman dedicates her life to being a good mom because hers sucked, but somehow ends up sexually attracted to rocks. Girl failure learns how to face her fears, but doesn't learn how to tie a kimono sash. He may be awful to everyone around her, but he hates himself too, so it's okay. Traumatized young girl gets her body mutilated, her dad dies, her sister dies, and everything is terrible now. That's it. Rich CEO slept with his underage employee and had to put her down when she turns into a monster, so naturally he gets into BDSM. Depressed child with an edgy alter ego learns that toxic masculinity is actually pretty cool. Edgy alter ego learns that empathy is actually pretty cool. Child bullies another child into being her boyfriend and barely learns from it. Man takes be gay and do crimes way too literally. Lonely orphan fights tooth and nail just so he can keep his sister in his life, only to immediately discriminate against her and have to learn the lesson all over again. White woman swaps bodies with a minority and proves that she truly is the most woke of all of them. Amnesiac child was actually just a glorified baby monitor, but decides his friends are cool anyway. Cat dad is so guilty over killing his boyfriend out of self-defense that he is never racist again. Traumatized doctor learns that her dad was a gay furry, so she shouldn't be racist. Himbo realizes that social issues require actual thought. Astrology baddie realizes just because others hate her body doesn't mean she has to hate it too and that she belongs in the world, all while serving ungodly amounts of cunt. Confused lady hurts everyone around her because she hates herself and eventually learns how to do the right thing way too late. Asshole realizes he can't close himself off from everyone forever and that holding yourself back because of grief will only hurt you. Oh, and he fucks his sister. Complete girl failure gets neglected and isolated so much she joins a cult and spends the rest of her screen time trying to make up for it. Father finally learns how to communicate. Woman lets go of her hatred when she genuinely considers murdering a child for the sake of revenge and can't even get laid. Selfish goofball isn't actually as selfish as she seems. Racist caricature almost kills his dog. Child tells his abuser to fuck off with the help of otter dads. Spacey fan service character does some gardening and was actually God the whole time. Spoiled child is groomed into being a nuke and learns how to not be an awful person very slowly. Teenager survives cancer and babysits a child she ends up dating. Genuine sociopath ends up on the side of the good guys out of sheer spite. Angry war prisoner slowly overcomes his trauma through a mix of exposure, vengeance, and political incompetence. Rogue child soldier wants to be the Pope after she is forced to kill the only person she could actually tolerate. Princess finds out her lineage doesn't matter because she's genuinely a good monarch, and her cousin boyfriend still loves her. Evil child never figured out how to be honest with his emotions before dying an untimely death.
All the single furries.
Child finds out he's a minority and decides to destroy all racism. Child learns what internalized racism is. Grown man roleplays being a father for a bit. Creepy prince harasses a woman so much she relents and goes out with him. Woman leaves her abusive boyfriend in horrible theocracy because it leads to the subjugation of minorities, all in a DS game from the 2000s. Depressed child learns that toxic masculinity ends up hurting everyone around you and accepts that his sensitivities are what make him strong. Messy cowgirl finally realizes bullying people might make you a bad person. Delinquent Nepo baby redeems himself by getting to protect his boyfriend. Trans girl realizes she doesn't have to atone for the past to enjoy her current life. Sad man just wants to have a family, but his family fucking sucks. Homeless child becomes a mom despite being 13 years old. Twink is deadass a villain helping these losers out so he can save his sick sister. Remember Merity? It's like that, but worse.
Balls, 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 balls.
Grown man wins every moral fight because everyone around him has no brain cells and wins every physical fight through plot armor. Young princess realizes she has no agency and refuses any chance she has to gain it for the rest of the game. Dog believes he's human and gets to prove himself as the best dog ever. Orphan child acts like a child and gets punished for it. Autistic child has to admit her hyperfixation is a net negative for the entire world, but discovers she's a lesbian. Grown man acts like a creepy weirdo because he secretly had a hard life. Elf lady hates everyone except monsters, but eventually realizes there's some token humans she likes. Pirate captain gets reborn as a child and has to slowly remember who she was while trying to sleep with a grown man. Young man goes from being subjugated to subjugating people and is surprised when bad things happen on his watch. Young boy just really doesn't want to lose any more loved ones. Girl accidentally develops depression but stands on business when she's on meds. Asshole has such a bad sister complex he ends up dating her mom. Amazing artist is able to finally understand and finish her grandfather's masterpiece thanks to the power of being cucked. Single mom almost loses her daughter, loses the love of her life, and loses all of her screen time in the remake. Robot really wants to protect a lady and then does, and also loses all of his screen time. Old man gets isekai'd and is pretty chill about it until his family dies. Redeemed villain really wants to protect a princess and does, but his family dies in the process.
Oh, she passed away? Oh. Alright.
Nepo baby tames an eldritch abomination, gets a daughter, gets laid, and repairs his relationship with his estranged brother, all through sheer mediocrity. Robot girl really wants to die, but nobody will let her. Little autistic boy was shipped off by his parents to an even more abusive family and is still not nearly bitter enough about it. Pretty girl lost all of her personality and never finds it. Double agent has to deal with the consequences of his actions. Autistic lady finds out her sister mildly dislikes her and is sad for a second. Man with a horrible life gets a little too upset about it and now has a cosmic horror controlling him. Womp womp. Child med student has such bad parent issues he falls for the first adult to show him affection, then he solves climate change. Literal god forgets she's a god when she stubs her toe. Boy failure makes every wrong choice in life and still ends up a pretty cool guy. Child's imaginary friend is so therapeutic she overcomes all of her anxieties and finds out killing is cool sometimes. Old man makes every situation about how he made a mistake one time, and then it gets laid. Teenage girl gets rejected by the boy she likes, becomes the punching bag of the party, gets shot in the chest, and ends up a reporter. King learns that empathy exists after trying to slaughter an entire planet but can't figure out how to use a phone. Spirit thing is so codependent she kills like a lot of people and somehow ends up a fan service character. Piece of toast is actually the most important thing in the universe. Character calls out her protagonist on his hypocrisy and then immediately dies.
Maven! This is my answer!
Savior of the world literally can't feel emotions or everyone will die and shockingly is really boring because of it. Gay guy had a pretty cool mom. Princess tries to do the right thing and everyone bullies her for it. Lady burns her face and hides everything from everyone. This is just somebody's fetish. Game somehow finds a way to make a cold-blooded killer boring. Asshole traumatizes a girl to protect her and then dies. Creepy womanizer has a soft spot for a pirate. Crash Out Queen Girlboss is a little too close to the sun and ends up killing a lot of people while never putting on clothes. Child really wants to protect his sister despite being a quarter of her age. Guy can't feel emotions, beats his brother in a duel, kills his mom, and is still a pretty chill dude about it. Pirate exposition dumps and regurgitates the theme of the game so much that you forget he literally has no character arc. Traumatized woman plays the role of a clown so well she forgets she has trauma. Woman learns she's on the side of the bad guy so brutally she has no choice but to get redeemed. Guy learns self-harm is okay if it's for a pretty lady. Lady learns it's okay to be horrible to hot guys if you like them enough. Young girl learns you can't be too mean to your slave drivers, or you're actually the bad one? What? Boy's dad dies and he just keeps whining about it. Lady's brother died and she just keeps whining about it. It's okay to be a slave driver as long as you're the nice one. Young girl realizes she's the reincarnation of somebody who committed sins in the past and she learns to forgive herself. Young girl is the reincarnation of somebody who committed sins in the past, but she's actually pretty chill about everything, so it's totally fine. You know that one Persona 4 Hymn Daisy comic thing where Nanako raises up her arms in a cross and goes, "No fighting!" It's pretty much that. That's what this is. Well, now you've learned about every character arc in the Tales of franchise. There were no gaps in these. These are all 100% how these characters' arcs play out. There was no exaggeration at all. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye!